South Texas in the Rio Grande Valley. And while we do not experience snow except maybe every once in 100 years, I love snowflake cards. And the Snowflake Kisses bundle is perfect to make these snowflakes. So I went ahead and got this suite. Well, not really a suite, I guess a bundle. I got this bundle because I do love snowflakes and I love snowflake dies. And so I just felt like this was something I needed to have. And the sayings on the bundle are not really Christmassy, but they're very wintry. And I thought this would be good to just make some winter cards. You can use it to make birthday cards. But I also have a cousin who's getting ready to have surgery sometime at the beginning of the new year. And I thought I would make kind of a little get well soon card with using this be warm and well sentiment. So that's what I'm going to be doing today. So this is the card that I created using this bundle. I think this card is very, very pretty with the designer series paper in the background, the metallic print for the snowflakes, and then picking up the Petal Pink that's in the designer series paper. So let me show you how I went ahead and made this card. Put this right here. All right, so the first thing you need is a card base that is 11 by 4 1/4, and I scored it at 5 1/2 across. Okay, I did get some, this is retired designer series paper. It is from, this is really old, y'all. It is the Flowering Fields designer series paper from a long time ago. It's the one that had all the tulips in it. But when I was thinking about making this card, I really wanted like a background paper that had like kind of like a multitude of colors that kind of like spread across. I started with like some cloud. What is the new color called? Something cloud. I can't remember, but I thought it was, I don't know, it made me think of stormy skies, but at the same time, I didn't want really stormy skies. So I started going through my stash. And guys, this is something you should do. You need to go through your stash and find these designer series papers that you have kind of put aside and pull them out and see how you can use them even with these new bundles. And I found this particular back. It's on the back of like these tulips, but I just think it's so pretty. It just makes me, I don't know, it makes me think of wintry colors. And with the white in the background, it really like helped it out a lot. Oh, by the way, this color I'm using here on the card base is Smoky Slate. But I just thought it looked so pretty. Now this piece is from the metallic silvers. And what I did is in the die, I already had cut this out. But this particular die, let me get this out. Is this piece right here. And it does cut out a circle, and you're left with a little circle piece in the middle that comes out. And so I just kind of took a piece of this metallic paper, and I did it at 5 1/4 by 4. And then I centered this particular plate on that as best as I could, and taped it down, and then ran it through my cut and emboss machine. And with that little circle that was left, I used this die that has snowflakes circling around, and I just cut out this piece that's going to end up going in the center. Okay. I also used the snowflake dies, these 3 right here, and I also used these here in the center to cut out some snowflakes from Petal Pink. I have a white circle that I punched out using a 1 1/2 circle punch. Cut out all the snowflakes. I have for the inside of my card a piece of basic white cardstock at 5 1/4 by 4. And then I have kind of like a little sliver. It's like 3/8 by a little more than 4 piece of the designer series paper. We're going to put at the bottom of the card. All right. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to move these dies out of the way. So what I'm going to do is start with taking my die cut of silver of the snowflake background, and I'm going to put some glue on the back of this, my all-purpose glue. I'm just going to kind of try to keep it light, just going around the edges. I'm going to go around this. Oh, there's a piece that didn't come out when I took out the pieces. So actually this was pretty easy to get those little die cut pieces out because they're fairly large. Okay. And you can get some of the, I'm going to go ahead and get some of these bigger areas, put some glue on just to kind of help keep it kind of stable. If you like, you could get some adhesive sheets and put this on there, but I thought it was pretty big. Didn't feel like I needed that. All right, so what I'm going to do, get this out of the way because I don't want to get glue on that in case. I'm going to go ahead and just line this up. It's just meant to be a background. The Designer Series paper is just meant to be a background to my snowflake die cut. Okay, so let me put that down. Here we go. All right, so now I'm going to go ahead and put this onto the cardstock. I should say cardstock on the card base. Of course, it is made of cardstock. Now, remember when you're putting on your glue, like here I got too close to the edge, but you want to keep it kind of far enough so that if you push the glue down, it doesn't come squirting out on the sides. You're going to center this on your card front. And like I said, is try not to like push it as you're laying it down because you don't want to slide it off and create a sticky mess. Okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take and use some dimensionals and put it on this silver piece and to just put it over up in the middle. Might take your pick tool to pick up those dimensional edges. I'm just going to kind of center this. Okay. All right, so now we can put our snowflakes kind of like, kind of just like how you like them. I just kind of liked them kind of like around the circle. I have two smaller ones. I want them kind of like angled together. Now, these snowflakes are really small, so it's very hard to get dimensionals on the back of them. So even if you're using the small ones, you're going to have to cut them down. And I just cut them into slivers. So like this one, it's just really, really hard. So I'm going to just see if I can get by with just one piece in the center and see how that holds up. Because these are small. There's not really a lot of room to put your dimensionals on so they're not seen. So, okay, that looks okay. Well, it really needs something else to kind of like put it up. It's going to need those little slivers. But that really takes a great deal of time to do. So, but I literally just used the edge of my dimensional sheet and just cut little slivers, like super small, in order to have them lay on the edge of the, so you can see, trying to fit them on the edge of the snowflake. And then, well, of course, getting off all the paper is tedious as well. See how this goes. See, and I already, This one is going to be hard. See if I could, what I could do here. This thing is like, where is it sticking? It's upside down, I can tell. All right. Nope. So small I can't even see what direction I'm trying to get it on. I'm going to try to get it on. All right. Okay, let's try to get this backing off without destroying what little slivers I made of my dimensionals. All right, here we go. Now I got dimensional backing sticking all over to me as well. All right, so I'm going to put this one up here. Okay. And now to do the same thing to this one at the back, although this one's has a little bigger center to work with. Let me see if I get this on here. And again, a couple of little slivers to help the snowflake stay up. How are y'all doing this evening? I hope y'all are having a good week. I'm finishing up our last week at school before we hit winter break, and there we are. So this week we're having our semester exams, and everybody's ready for vacation. Teachers, students, custodians, office workers, we're all ready to head on out. All right, so let me put this one over here. And on these two littlest ones, I'm just going to go ahead and use some all-purpose glue and just kind of put it down directly onto the silver snowflake die. All right. And I slid it. And here we go. Last little snowflake. I like the pink. I like the Petal Pink snowflakes. I really do like how it blends in with this paper. And if you get in the right spots, there's even some Calypso coral in there as well. Is it Calypso coral? I feel like I'm forgetting everything lately in terms of names. All right, so there. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to slide this over, bring in my mat, silicone mat. I want a little bit to, as I'm stamping using these photopolymer stamp set, I want to have a little bit of cushioning underneath, help it stamp a little better. And I'm going to use Secret C to stamp my sentiment. I'm sorry, I'm a very messy stamper, so everything gets all over the place. Everything gets in the way, and then I can't find anything later. So tap, tap, tap. And now I'm just going to try to make sure it's straight, centered. And I'm going to hold that down for a couple of seconds to let the ink transfer onto the paper. And there we go. I'll close this up because Secret C and I have a relationship where I get Secret C everywhere. Let me make sure I don't have any hidden on my hands like I usually do. All right, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to add some glue to the back of this. Coming to the end of my glue right there. So I'm just going to put this on there. I'm going to center it. there we go. And I am going to now take some Pool Party. I know here, this is actually Soft Succulent, which is a really old retired color. But I don't know, this Pool Party sheer ribbon looks really good with that. So I'm just going to cut off a piece and I'm just going to tie a knot in it. Because this is a male cousin I'm sending it to. So a knot for him would be better than a bow. Even though he already has a lot of pink on here. I don't know. He'd appreciate it. He lives in a very wintry state. Deals a lot with winter stuff. So let me trim this down a little bit. All right, and so now I need a glue dot. Glue dots and ribbon are your best friends, or glue dots are great to be your best friend when it comes to getting ribbon onto your cards. All right, so I'm going to lay that across the top here. I have some Rhinestones. I'm almost out. It's almost time to get some more. I'm just going to use a couple of rhinestones around the card. I'm going to let's put one right down here. Let's go ahead and put one right there. And then let's put one right there. Get that out of the way. All right, so there we have the outside of the card. So let's go ahead and fold and burnish it. So, and I just had, here it is. I just had my bone folder out, and then of course it got covered up and hidden. All right, so now I'm going to take my white insert of basic white, and I'm going to get my strip that, like I said, it's 3/8 wide. I like 3/8. 1/2 inch to me is a little too wide. I don't know why I feel that way. I just do. But I like 3/8. I think it's the perfect size. And so I'm going to put some glue here. And this is where you can use your grid paper. I like to come up about 1/4 of an inch, maybe a little less. Kind of line that up. It hangs off the edge a little bit. That's fine. You can trim that off. Have a little bit of wiggle room. It's too much wiggle. You have wiggle room, but not as much as you would think. All right, so let me trim that off. Just turn it over and do that. And now I'm ready to put it to the inside of my card. I'm at the tail end of my glue. Turn it over. And center it. And there you go. You have a nice little get well card to send to somebody in the winter, someone maybe having surgery, suffering from the flu, just the aches and pains of winter, or just feeling maybe the wintry blues. But it's always nice to get a card. You're getting a hug in the mail. Anyway, if you're interested in letting me be your Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, you can find me at www.softwindcrafting.stampinup.net. I'm happy to help you out with any of your Stampin' Up! Needs, anything that you help to get you started in card making. I really would appreciate it. And if you could give my video a thumbs up or like, whatever they call it, a comment, and possibly become a subscriber and sharing my video, I would really appreciate it. But anyway, take care, and I hope everyone has a great winter break. Thank you.